True peace, true peace, true peace. Happy holy day to all the peacemakers. I'm about to share the room. We're gonna get started with today's holy day. Try to make it real quick. Go through these divine messages and downloads for the week, y'all. Sharing the room so people could join us in case they want to. Make this a good holy day this week. All right. Yeah, let's get it going today. I'm sharing the room. Give me a second. Could join us, y'all. Get us started with today's divine supplication. Get this going. Got one more share, y'all. One more share. We're gonna be off to the races. All right. Well, two more shares. Got two more shares. Shares. Two more shares. All right, let me share it to Facebook, and then we're gonna get our divine supplication on, y'all. One more share. Then we're gonna move on to the divine supplication. Share it to Facebook real quick. Share it to my page. All right. So let's open up this week with the divine supplication. Pull it up for us. We're gonna get straight to it, y'all. Today's been a good day. Hope y'all having a good, happy, holy day. Want to give all honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to the forerunner Honorable Marcus Garvey, as well as the other messengers such as Elijah Muhammad, Deuce Ali, and others that came before us. Pull this up for y'all. We want to begin our prayers and thinking by using the O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds. We do accept the duty you have lain on us to clean up the filth made by the West and his non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us to control the streams of the courses of our lives. Our sustainer. And if we do wrong, please show our divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers. And in thy name, we carry on. All right. So we'll open up with the 19 affirmations. Get it started with these daily affirmations that should be said daily, because it's very important. It's part of your spiritual hygiene. What we accept as fact, the daily affirmation of loyalty of the children of the Elohim. We accept as fact the eternal laws of nature as revealed through science, past events, logic, and common sense, revealed as right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We accept as fact the highest laws of nature is the cooperation and harmony of all living things. We accept as fact our way of life as a means to the best end. We accept as fact that loyalty is the greatest of all honors and treason is the worst of all crimes. We accept this fact that what is good for the Holy Tabernacle is the highest virtue, and what is bad for the Holy Tabernacle is the ultimate evil. We accept this fact that the Holy Tabernacle is the finest and noblest organization for all humanity, created by circumstances, and the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek is the noblest of fraternities on and above this planet. We accept this fact that creativity, love, and cooperation are the essence of success. We accept this fact that truth and facts are always and has always been the originator and creator of all success. We accept this fact that all worthwhile cultures and civilizations came about from the ancient Sumerians and Kamite Egyptians and the Anunnaki or Elohims from the heavens, without which there would be none. We accept this fact that for the Holy Tabernacle to survive, expand, and advance, we need, first of all, a revolution of values and thoughts, which must start with within each person, by being truthful with themselves and about themselves. Therefore, we completely and categorically reject all myths, fictions, religions, and lies that have not been proven. That would include your heavens, your hells, your hellfires, and brimstones, your horn and pitchfork devils, your winged angels, and your old man God character sitting on the throne up there somewhere. We deal strictly with facts. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean we won't listen to you. Just don't expect us to accept your beliefs by virtue of a title such as Reverend, Pastor, Deacon, Imam, Sheik, Rabbi, Minister, Theologian, etc. That is your sensationalism, and we deal with just the facts. We accept this fact that the only true revolution is a war of good against evil, right against wrong, fairness against unfairness, loyalty against disloyalty, sincerity against sincerity, honesty against dishonesty, and this war is fought within each person among the agreeable and disagreeable Elohims that make up your willpower. We accept this fact that the unity of our community and its success will only happen with cooperation with all involved. We accept this fact the total unification of all humanity on the basis of truth, that is, accepting people and races for who and what they are, respecting their culture, their languages, and their beliefs, and expect the same. We accept this fact that the human race's biological and cultural heritage is now under attack by our own morals, our self-righteousness, our desire to control industry, and these things attack the very existence of humanity. We accept this fact that males as well as females are equal in all things and should be dealt with as partners in all matters. We accept this fact that no one race of people is better than the other. In fact, no one wins the race and racism. We accept this fact that communication between different people is the cure to the ignorance that breeds the disease hate. We accept this fact that a good and well-rounded education could prevent most of the ignorance that plagues the world. We accept this fact that the all is just that, the all. You can't take from the all. You can't add to the all. We are all within the all is one. That is our concept of what you call a deity. To the fulfillment of these facts, we children of the Elohim forever pledge our lives, our sacred honor, and our spiritual zeal. True peace, true peace. All right. So I'm going to read the divine constitution and bylaws before we get to it. All right. Get to it. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh, and ascended unto his Father God Allah. 1 second, y'all. All right. Go back. I'm gonna read Act 2 over again. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, true, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, true, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No members to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. The organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Abu Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all the necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Abu Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah, Islam. All right, y'all. So we're going to open up this week's weekly readings and do the prayer as well. True peace, Noble. True peace. I'm about to bring you up. Happy holy day.
True peace. Happy holiday.
All's well, big bro.
Yes, sir, brother.
Islam. All right,
We
I'm about
are
to.
well.
I'm over here finishing the opening. I'm just about pretty much done. Let me do the prayer real quick, and then we can get to it.
Yes, sir, brother.
Just time for the prayer. So y'all know how
Yes.
it go. Five fingers up, 2 fingers up, facing a 45-degree angle. You know how this go. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. So this week, just as any other week, we go through the Holy Quran Circle 7. And let me go ahead and get that pulled up for us, y'all. So that way we can get it going. All's well on your end, big bro. How's everything? Happy holiday.
Oh, I'm in really, really good spirits. My vibration is high, and I'm just, man, I'm like in a joyous and blissful state of mind right in this present moment.
Divine, divine. Glad to have you with us this week, bro.
Praise Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so we're gonna kind of pick up where I left off last week. I was talking about, just more into what the prophet left us in the divine messages. Uh, that we missing that our ancestors has left. Such as Prophet Charlie. I didn't get to see who that was that came in. Somebody came in. But to really get the messages of the prophet and just talk about some of these things that's been, uh, been that have been misconstrued in the messages to our people about a lot of these sovereign citizen, processes and things like that. Because a lot of people are not realizing the messages of the prophet and what he left into play. So a lot of things, I'm going into detail without going too much into detail about it because, of course, on this particular app, they like to have a lot of drama rooms and things like that. So to, just protect the messages of the prophet and the temple itself, um, I'm really just skimming through the basics and the fundamentals of the messages that have been left by the prophet. It's like I said. So, people, kind of have, their discrepancies and questions about joining the temple, and a lot of them want to get involved, but you have so many people, blocking them before they even get to the basic understanding of joining the temple and why they want to join the temple. I didn't heard it all on this app, far as why people should have their own from why people should have their own nations and things like that, and then don't even know nothing about leading a nation. Conducting anything that got to deal with a nation, and they don't even uh they don't even know nothing about how about leading anything, let alone leading a nation of people. So it's crazy, uh the blocking that we got in the way of people getting involved with the Moorish Science Temple of America. So that's kind of where we left off last week, and then I read some things. Of course, I went through our weekly readings. So I'm about to go through reading chapter 25. You want to chime in on anything, though, Islam?
True peace. Y'all could add on to the build. I can totally comprehend how some people could not really understand things clearly, or I shouldn't say understand, comprehend to a full comprehension of what it is, and get involved with the wrong group of people, like you were saying, as far as certain processes and different things, and thinking that's what it is because they haven't went to the temple, then have a bad experience, and then say, oh, okay, based on that, I'm good, I don't want to have nothing to do with none of it. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so, I think it's very important that people are not misguided, you know and you know invite people to come to the temple, and then they can understand what it, or understand what it really is, or comprehend what it really is, to a full conceptual comprehension, and know, and then a person can know for themselves, or can draw their own conclusions, or come to their own conclusions in their own mind, or what truth is, or what route to go and what route not to go, so to speak. And with that, I yield.
True peace, true peace. Yeah, so we got a lot of like I said, a lot of people that deviate people from the real information, and it gets crazy out here because this stuff is meant to really help people and help people in their soul's journey and the navigation of their soul. So for all the deflecting and this deviation of the truth, it's crazy what we got going on out here. But and especially on this app, because like I said, I didn't been in experience of it, in the experience of it, just being on here for a while and kind of navigating to be around the right people. It's been crazy. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. Give me 1 second, bro. All right. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. Sorry about that. It's been a crazy journey, bro. Just things you discover on this app, and like I say, it's good we don't have a crazy crowd of people, which is really appreciated because a lot of people don't appreciate the information that's being given. From just seeing, the analyzation of all this stuff over the years. A lot of people not respecting the work that's been done by a lot of grand sheiks, a lot of messengers and things that, things that's been done, and the works that's been put in, by a lot of these leaders, and people really missing the boat. So I've been going into the details over the past couple weeks. Been going in on certain words and certain things for people to get real proper understanding, and not just want to fly by night, 20-minute, 30-minute masterclass information, which is just microwaved, and it's not really, it's not from really actually really being studious. Because when you're really studious, that means you're really studying that which you're studying over and over again, and you're not just microwaving information and moving on to the next thing. So we really want people to understand the narrative uh behind that. So let's get it in. Let's get it in. I'm about to read chapter 25. No, for this week's reading. I know my signal's a little bad. Yeah, we about to get it in. I'm about to read chapter 25. Get us started with the weekly reading. So chapter 25, y'all, is called the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. And it reads, Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, in the breast of one mother had given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness might dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. True peace, true peace. So, a lot of this information is, just coming from a place of misguidance. So, as we understand in chapter 25, we already have a covenant as an Asiatic nation and as a people that's a part of the family of nations. So we have a lot of these people that come along, like I said, with this empire, that empire, this kingdom, that nation, and don't really, go off the fundamental structure of, what was given to us, as the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the information that, we have that's at the foundation of our theocratic structure. So that was chapter 25. You want to add anything on from that, Noble?
True peace. Yeah, I have to say, like our bond it have to be thick. We have to, have much love for each other and help each other and support each other now more than ever, And we all are tied together by the bond of affection, which is love, our first principle.
That's right. That's right. And I was in one of Brother Faye's one room. Not sure you know who that brother is, but he a prominent Nubian on the app, and he grew up on the land with the master teacher. And so while I'm in his room, it was some things that he was breaking down in one of his books that he wrote. That people should, reach out to that brother Phase One on the app and check out, some of his works. But and listen to some of his messages as well, because he's very intelligent. But I was listening to him, and he was, giving some real breakdowns on things that's been done esoterically by, some of these fraternal orders across the planet, and going into the in-depthness of, their secret information, or what they would, call secret. When it comes to us, as a body politic of people, we got to really understand, as I said last week, we are the beneficiary of these things. So a lot of these things these people tell you not to get involved in, you really have to do your due diligence on how people are really living out here and coming together in communeship, because we get sold these processes and procedures and these thought processes also as well, because it's one thing to get sold a paperwork process, but it's another if somebody's selling you, and propagating to you a thought process that really goes against the end goal of what it is that you're trying to do. And that's a lot of what you're breaking through, as what people go through, what they call the matrix. And a lot of us, don't understand the unity that we have been told to, to kind of to rock with. So, have these people, like I said, that be talking about having a nation, don't really have, the science down packed to what it is to actually run a nation and all the things that incorporate with that. Like I say, let alone trying to run one, but people to be in those administration positions. And that's a lot of what's been harming us, like I said, in this divine, like I said last week, in this divine and national movement, because of the fact that we have a lot of chiefs and not enough Indians. And we we have the fact that there's many different parts and branches of the movement, and people come in and they leave their testimonies or their experiences here on on the recordings and on the record. And this is something that has to be addressed by us as a people, because solely we're missing the major key, big time. And so, especially to protect our IP, our intellectual property, and things of that nature, of course I keep a lot of things undisclosed, especially now at this point, because we got people running back and forth and don't know what their identity is. One day they want to be Indians, next day they want to be Moors, then they want to be Indians again. And not understanding that we're Native American Moors, or indigenous Moors. So however you want to spin it, it all tie you back to us having a global national identity, which is to reiterate what the brother Phase One said last night while I was in this room. This is something that people are able to reference and research. So we got to really understand that the global treaties that were in place for us as a Moorish body politic, doesn't matter what your tribe was of the Moorish Empire, the global empire. And a lot of people like to mention that not everybody was Islamic. And I touched on that last week as well, because we still have to understand the fact that as a Moorish body of people, those that they call the Dug Damunya, those that are the mound builders or the civilization builders, we are a peaceful people. We didn't have chaotic civilization. We are the civilizers if we understand history in that way. But the way these people teach us civics and mix a lot of these different points, they mix it with whatever other esoteric structure or thought process, thought form, and don't really get to the basic fundamental point before we can even dive in and indulge in all of the extraordinary information that goes into the basic ordinary information, the basics. A lot of people want to jump to metaphysics before they get to physics. And I've been saying this for years. you know uh we have a consumer herd mentality, where we're just jumping from one thing to the next thing because it's trendy. you know and that leads me into the next chapter, which is chapter 47 of our weekly reading, called Egypt, the Capital Empire of the Dominion of Africa. And it reads: The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family was second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem. The first true name, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the father and the son. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest, was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to trade and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren, who sovereign from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms, and also the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaohs of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile, westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who was able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great
universal creator Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the Prophet Noble Ali, the founder of the Uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by members of all the temples of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. The Prophet Noble Ali was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and awful day that is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess its own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black in color, was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent because they honored not the principles of their mother and father and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. So, you got any feedback on that chapter, Noble, before I go in? Because I got some things I want to touch on real quick.
True peace. I just want to say that I wanted to say that the fact that we do have a space where we can come and we can, hear the truth, then we don't have to be uh misguided. Like you was mentioning, as far as, some of us calling ourselves Indians, or we're American Indians, or we're Native Americans, or we're Moors. We are all of those people. We're all the same people, so we're not separate, you know, and that we need unity in the community, you know. Um, that's all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you, Noble. I'm about to go into chapter 48, which is called the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. So a lot of people may think this is rhetorical information that we're going over every week, which is not. Repetition is the father and mother of learning. And unless you're diving into this information and you stick around with us, and if we was coming in unity, as the brother just mentioned, we could get to these major key points of what's being written in this text, especially when we get to talking about the holy lands and actually reading the scriptures together, as a theocratic government to body of people. I'm not sure you hear the helicopter, but this is where we come together, two or three more gathered in the name, and we don't understand the simplicity of that power. And of course, Noble Drew Ali came and added some things which I wanted to go into before we go into this last chapter, which is called the fulfilling of the prophecy. So, specifically, what I wanted to dive into is, uh, the treaty being around before uh the Constitution. So let's see, because the prophet talked about the American Constitution, right? And that it was one of the greatest constitutions, ever. So the American Constitution was written in 1787 and ratified in 1788. Okay. And then let's look this up. All right. So hold on. Let me right there, child. When all right, hold on. I don't think we looking up the right treaty. Hold on. Okay, so the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was written in 1786 or 1787 as well for Morocco. So it says though in 1777 the Moroccan Sultan included in the United States in a list of countries to which Morocco ports were open. Morocco thus became the first country whose head of state publicly recognized the newly independent United States. So this is known. It says relations were formalized with the Moroccan American Treaty of Friendship, negotiated by Thomas Barclay in Marrakesh and signed by American diplomats in Europe, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and the Sultan Muhammad III. So we read this treaty, I think like 2 holy days ago. So for those that, like I say, every week, please just don't skip through these holy days. You want to read the whole messages, that's being delivered when you come in. And, please listen to them replays because there's a lot of information being given to you guys, in these replays. So, just, take heed to that. This is not no fly-by-night information that we're giving, and no microwave information that we're giving. So let's go into this. So this was given in 1777, and what we have to understand is that America Constitution didn't come around till 1787. And so the point I'm getting at here, before we go into this reading, the last reading of the weekly reading, is that there were people that were, pronouncing to be Moors before the Moorish Science Temple of America came. And, what we have to understand is the only law that was pertaining, and for those who have actually read the treaty, or you can go back to, I think it was 2 weeks ago, 2 holy days ago, that we actually read the full treaty full out. So you can go back to that and reference when we actually read it and really listened to the treaty word for word itself. And it's stated in there that there's really a difference between Moroccan Moors and actual American Moors, which we are discovering here that the prophet came and really put some things in place for the Moorish Americans through the United States Constitution that was developed for America. And if we understand some of the things that have been said over the years and over time, especially about George Washington being inaugurated, through the Masonic orders of this country and this nation, which is who actually started, this country and nation, just like the Society of Friends and the Quakers up there in Philadelphia, and really understand the power that fraternal and sorority orders had with the inauguration of this country. And so if we take that into account, right, then we should understand that the prophet was standing on the fact that you have a actual you have a actual structure that's being laid out for Moorish Americans, not Moorish Africans, or at the time Moorish Moroccans, as it would have technically been classified as. And if you really read the treaty, it does make a distinction of, Moors in America and Moors elsewhere, and also as well as Moors that might be under the control of Christendom, because a lot of Moors were, being kidnapped and things like that. And Brother Phase One mentions this, last night in his room. I don't think he did. Yeah, he did. Brother had the replays on. So, like I said, if you can type in Phase One name on the app, and go back and listen to his last night replay in his book that he was reading. I can't remember the exact name. I'm gonna get the name for next Holy Week, and then just direct people there again. But you want to read that, or get access to that book, we could actually get it. We can purchase it as a temple from the brother Phase One, and read it here as well. But it's some things that's been mentioned, and he's not the only one to mention it. But just for quick reference points, the mistreatment of us globally as Moors, and how we came together on a global scale to be, the standing empire of, all of us as indigenous peoples. And this is how we was, legally described as globally as a global body politic. And before that, being called Moors, as I mention all the time, we were the the mother tribe, going back to the mother gene. And we deny this as much as we can, but we are all connected as one people. We are of the the divine mother. And that's also what the brother Phase One room was about last night. So just want to, make sure we get that message properly understood. And now I'm gonna go ahead and read this last chapter, y'all. Because I don't want to hold us here too late. I know it's Friday, and we all want to enjoy our Fridays. So with that, we're gonna go into chapter 48, called "The End of Times and the Fulfilling of the Prophecies." And just one more thing, you have to understand, Fridays is a very, very prevalent day to do energy work and come in the name, and come, in the divine name. And if we all understanding that status is important, then we all should be here on these Fridays and really building up the momentum of changing our political status. And you change your political status, as I mentioned in, a couple holy days before this one ago, that you have to actually understand what political status really means, especially when they define what, political status is in a dictionary. And I gave a real good breakdown between, being a Democrat, Republican, and things like that, and actually having a real Republican government structure as we originally had. And we have to really understand that. And at this point, we have to understand that we have a theocratic structure, and that is public law of this country. And we have to understand theocratic means decentralized. So we have been a global body politic since time immemorial as a people. And we have to understand that that status situation is coming back up in the mix, as Brother Phase One was saying last night in his room about Kanye West, and why people decided to talk about status over again, because of, I guess, the recent incident or event that just recently happened with Kanye West. For those that know about that, in that situation, and just the things that happen when we say Black Lives Matter, and you have pushback, and you get well, white lives matter, or all people lives matter, or whatever it may be. So we have to really understand that these these things are not just happening just because they're all intentional events. So with that, the reading of the last chapter goes, The last prophet in these days is noble Joali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem man from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days, there came a forerunner of Jesus who was prepared divinely by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam. And his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old time religion and the everlasting gospels to the sons of man, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own, and be one with their Father God Allah. The Moorish Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days, for the redemption of the sons of man under love, true peace, freedom, and justice. We as a clean and pure nation descendant from the inhabitants of Africa do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we, Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. The covenant of the great God Allah, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earthland, which the Lord thy God, Allah, had given thee. Come, all ye Asiatics of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourselves with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. True peace. And that was chapter 48, y'all. Islam, which it gives a strong read, and there's some things in the that I want to point out. Like I said, repetition, and you should understand every time you look at something or do something, you're gonna get something new out of it every time. And with that, we should understand that the Prophet said he has the charters to issue to every state, etc., that the world may hear. The world. So this divine and national movement is going global. So that includes all Moorish Africans, Moorish Asians, Moorish indigenous world islanders, and Moorish Americans. The four corners of the earth should hear this message. The four corners. So we need to really understand these instructions that the Prophet gave us. The instructions for misery. Why misery, misery loves company. Why the instructions for insufficiency of knowledge. Why we need to gain knowledge and learn. Come together in unity. The instructions of weakness. And understand why we don't need to be a weak people. And consistency, why we need to remain consistent, and why we remain consistent here every week. Whether it's 2, 3, 5 people, 1 people, however many people, we're here doing the work consistently. Even when we don't want to do get up and I'm here. And some people, even when they can't be here, they're here. We have instructions from the Prophet about the instability of man, which is dealing with the inconsistency. And you're unstable because you're not being consistent. The pinnacles of wisdom, we're given instructions on how to reach for the pinnacles of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The Prophet gave us instructions on the soul, on our souls, and how we really have to understand that this is where your knowledge is coming from, your soul, that lineage of ancestors. When it comes to us, getting into meditation, which we should be doing together as a temple. But we sit here and we miss these lessons. That's one of the main lessons that we need to come together here about is mindset, heart set, soul set. Is your soul set in the right place, the right direction? Because we got instructions for the breath of heaven as Moorish Americans. We got instructions to know thyself, to know who we are. Like I said, it don't matter which tribe you coming from. It don't matter which tribe you a part of. We were instructed to know who we are. You got instructions for religion. So it don't matter which religion and culture you are, especially if it's a peaceful religion. That's what Islam is about. It's not about Orthodox Islam. We got instructions for sincerity, to be sincere, to be genuine. And that comes from the heart, which is also where the deceit and hypocrisy come, because out of the heart, the mouth speaks. We got to understand that these are scriptures that cannot be broken. The prophet gave us instructions for showing gratitude, y'all. Being grateful, being thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy birthday, y'all. The prophet gave us instructions on giving charity. And which is why, us paying it forward towards ourselves is very important. How we gonna get anything of economics going if everybody is a chief and no Indians? The prophet gave us instructions on how to deal with justice amongst ourselves in our community, how to deal with social duties in our community. We got social duties, y'all. How to work between what they call the employee and the employer, or the master and the servant. We was given these divine instructions on how to really maintain a relationship as an employer and an employee. We were given that in the form of what's called, the instructions for master, for master and servant, which that also in the scriptures as well. There's a unity with this. We was given instructions on unity. How to treat our children. How to raise them up. On how men and women should come together. So all of the division that we have is unnecessary. And there was also instructions given for how we raise our young men. So we was given these instructions, y'all. And, we need to understand that this is, things that, we were given directly to understand. So we could take things to the next level as a body of people, y'all. So we have those instructions as well as our temple one-on-ones. We want to be we want to be in tune with these one-on-ones. We want to be in tune with this information that's been given to us. Right? I'm gonna re-pull this up. So I'm gonna pull up the 101, and then we're gonna go into the weekly literature, and then we're gonna close it out. So I really do appreciate you one more time, Noble. Welcome to the World Temple. I'll reset the room real quick. This is branch temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are a globally chartered temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You can click that pinned link up there at the top if you want to join us. It's only $1. It's less than, way less than a coffee. And you can join a royal patronage. If you don't have a temple home, you have one today. And as I said, it's branch temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are a chartered and incorporated temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And if you don't know about the laws that have been, like I said, put into statute for the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the recognition of who we are as a people, then you need to learn, and you need to come in and link yourself with the family of nations. That way you can get some true information and proper information. So, when you're being approached by people who are not understanding that we are the true Americans, we are the true Amirs. This is already, structured by us. This is why we understand the term and the true name for the true Americans and who they are, and how it became in an America, and why we have the dollar bill and the pyramid, and also the the Greek symbol on the dollar bill, because you have to understand that there's a covenant between nations. There's a covenant between people from two sides of the continent. Two sides of the planet. And here we go. We got to really truly understand these things. So I got the questionnaires pulled up. So we need to understand, who made us off top. The divine source, the divine creator, whatever name you want to call it, whether it's Elohim, Yahuwah, Odamari, whatever term you want to use. The divine mother and the divine father, or the source, the androgynous source, the one source. Allah and Allah. However you want to look at that. Can we see him? No. Where's the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. Who is Noble Drew Ali? He's Allah's prophet. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh, y'all. So these 101s is real prevalent. And we have them in the temple school system, which I'm going to pin to the link as well, pin to the top of the room as well, so that way y'all can go and look at that. I really should have had this one pinned to the top of the room, but it's all right. I'll do that next week, because y'all should be getting involved in the school system. That way you actually, learning more until we get our main website back up and running. And, you really understand the, the messages that we're here to deliver coming from our ancestors. So I'm going to leave that link up there for a minute as we go through some of these questions and, talk about it, because it needs to be talked about and it needs to be made clarity of. Because, like I said, a lot of people is giving out misinformation because they, think that the temples is not needed to proclaim your nationality. When they're not understanding, obviously they haven't read like how this is, not say codified, but put into statutes of law, how the temples actually represent, agencies, sub-administrative bodies, and instrumentalities, better yet, instead of an agency, an instrumentality of the American government, to where we dealing with the Dred Scott case still to this day, and not understanding the true understanding of nationality and how the Moors have the ability to become American citizens. And if you look at it, and understand that the 13 colonies is actually Moorish colonies, because the queen and the king, whether you want to, consider them pale skin or whatever skin, they were still operating through Moorish authority, even going back to the Vatican. Like I said last week, the quasi nations and the empires and whatever that's been started, they're still made for your benefit. Please understand that. So we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel, creating a bunch of new chiefs, and misunderstanding that we can't get anything done if we don't come together as a body of Indians, natives, however you want to look at that. So I'm gonna go into some more of these questions. It says, who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? Noble Drew Ali. Oh, let me go back. It says, what is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. From the wrath of Allah. Not anybody else. Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? We just read that. That's Noble Drew Ali. What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? 1913. Where? New York, New Jersey. Where was Noble Drew Ali born? In the state of North Carolina, 1886. And that's actually the state where other Moors were proclaiming to be Moors, pronouncing to be Moors before Noble Drew Ali even started the Moorish Science Temple of America. What is his nationality? Moorish American. What is your nationality? Moorish American. Why are we Moorish American? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. So if we read, according to the Holy Quran Circle 7, us, the Canaanites, who before we even got to Morocco and are the descendants and true possessors and owners of Morocco, then that would take us back to the fact that the Moors are Israelites and or Ishmaelites. And the fact that we are a global nation of people of the Ummah. It says, how did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. What is our religion? Islamicism, which is peace. Peaceism. Is that a new or is that an old time religion? Old time religion. Old time, before Muhammad. So if Abraham is the father of nations, and we got the way of peace, the way, as they called it then this is before Orthodox, modern day, as it is known, Islam. So we got to really understand the blessings that have been, put before us. I'm gonna read one more question, because this goes back to what I was talking about. It says, what is the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for Moabites? Moroccans. Where's the Moroccan Empire? Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest of Mexum. What is the modern name for Mexum? Africa. So when we say Afro-Morica, the Americans, that is who we are. And some of this information, might have been misconstrued through the order, which is perfectly fine. That's okay. This is why we had people come along and give us the proper information to fill those those outdated parts in. But that doesn't mean the information that was given wasn't fundamentally, on the right track. So just, rest on that. With that, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Moorish Science Temple of America weekly literary and the messages that we're supposed to read from the prophet. Anything you want to add on, before I go into the messages this week? And we're gonna close out. Thank you for coming through, No. I'm about to pin the Patreon link back.
True peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Patreon link back on here. But y'all click that link, go to the school. It's up there, it's available for y'all to learn and really get the information that's available to us. We actually have our own school system, for the entire global village for our people to become Moorish Americans and learn how to be Moorish Americans and get the protocol down. We here weekly, and you can all reach me day in, day out if you need me. I'm here. Come back, listen to the replays, and we about to go into this Moorish literature, which is indigenous literature, y'all. Y'all need to understand, and read these messages from the prophet that he wants us to read every week in the temple, Islam. The prophet say, I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me in the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim I was only a joke and unreal. But now since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation, as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respects to me in the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Ali. All right. So we got the Patreon link at the top. Y'all can click to join us. Like I said, it's less than a coffee to join the temple, and you don't have to pay for your nationality. Nationality is free. But if you need a temple body in a temple home to vouch for you, like I say, we are a courier for our people. And you must understand the protocols of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And with that, you can become a royal patron of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Pay your temple dues every month. And like I say, it's way less than a coffee because as we go through the literature week on, week out, we'll go over that again on the temple tax. But you can read about the temple tax in one of these holy day meetings. You probably stumbled upon it if you go back. Like I said, listen to all the replays on here. We got replays that for this particular temple that go all the way back to last year, week in, week out. That you can listen to and really get some divine messages out of and some divine wisdom and information that's needed. So with that, I'm gonna go into the last warning from the prophet that the prophet wants us to read, and really understand that we are here for our people. Come link yourself. You got to be careful with what's being said out here. A lot of these things are just distractions, for y'all to miss the fundamentals and get the ordinary before you get the extraordinary information, and you're dealing with somebody who can break the esoteric stuff down to you but give it to you properly. because a lot of people just spewing out regurgitated information and things that they heard and haven't really in-depthly researched or put into deep thought. So with that, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the warning from the prophet. He said this is to be read in every temple service and every temple meeting. The prophet say, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button and cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. True peace, Noble Ali. So with that, y'all, we're gonna go into the prayer, and I'm gonna close this out, and just say our last little bit. One thing I want to make sure people understand is, as the Nucratic Society, we don't affiliate with any moon-based organizations, and moon culture organizations. We are a sun culture organization. So what we have to understand is that the prophet made this for sun culture, even though he's making reference and using reference in terms of moon-based cultures and names, which were in existence during the moon cycle. But now that we are in a complete sun cycle, to where we can really go into this information and really dive into this information from a Nucratic standpoint or a nuology standpoint, which is what we're spiritual guides of. We're here to be your spiritual guide through this sun cycle and this cosmic change that we're going through. So, please take heed and take reference, because as we of the new Ethiopian order, which means that we are of the Kushite family and the new order, or the Moorish, the Nubian, whatever you want to look at it, as what they would call Pitchnovians or Nuologists in this particular day and time, or Novites, or whatever term you want to refer yourself to. We are of the Hebrew sun culture. So with that, we have to understand that we are the ancient Shemites, the tribes of the Anawiya, the Algonquian, and whatever other indigenous tribe that you refer yourself to as. So whether it's Umassi, etc., and understand that a lot of these Native American tribes doesn't really go far back as they say they do. We have a lot of misinformation coming out because of what people think to be new sciences, and this has been going on for a very long time. This ain't nothing new, to try to keep us away from the connecting of the fatherland and what we call the motherland. And we have a lot of cry out about putting the mother back on her throne, but we have a problem with the motherland. So we I don't understand how people view that. And this is not, as the prophets say, and also as the master teacher reiterated, plenty times over. This is not a promulgation of us, going back to the motherland to live forever. This whole entire planet belongs to indigenous peoples. So with that, y'all, we gonna call it a night. Any last contributions you want to make, Noble, before we head out? I'm gonna rock us out with the prayer. I don't know if you can. Okay. I was trying to make sure my mic was working.
True peace. I just wanted to say that this was a very good holy day as always, and I'm happy that I was able to attend the holy day meeting today. Praise Allah and the highest honors to His Prophet Noah Ali. And high honors and much gratitude to you, Grand Sheik. And high honors to everything Moorish. True
Everything
peace.
more. True peace, true peace. We want to throw Marcus Garvey. We want to give all honors to the prophet as well, in high regard to the forerunner, Honorable Marcus Garvey, to the messenger Elijah Muhammad, to the master teacher Dr. Malachi Z. York-El, Hakeem Bey, and CM Bey, brother CM Bey, high regards, and all of those that's doing the divine works of the temple and the divine and national movement. And at this point, it's a global, divine and global movement. So with that, y'all, we're gonna go into the prayer. We're gonna call it a night. Y'all listen to the replays, man. Be sure to catch out the replays. And much love. True peace. So y'all know how this go. 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up, facing the east, feet at a 45-degree angle. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. Wadu, y'all. True peace.
True peace.